All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Haikyuu, Season 4, Episode 25.
Karasuno beat them. They did it.
Yep, they did it. They did it, y'all. And this is going to be the Season 4 finale, the actual Season 4 finale. We now know it right this time. And
Yes.
I really just want a good, post-game, just kind of coming together of the characters and having some good conversations.
Yes.
Just really interacting with not just, a little bit from Inarizaki, but also a little bit from Nekoma, and then kind of set up what the next stage of things will be
Exactly.
in Season 5.
Yeah.
Because while Karasuno did just get their match with Nekoma guaranteed, this is a big tournament. There are a lot of teams involved.
Yes.
And it could be a really cool thing where if they wanted to show anything of that, what's going on, they could. But if not, and we just want to get some results so that we are aware of what's going to be coming next, maybe go a little bit more in depth with some of our boys at Karasuno and just kind of realizing,
we did
they've
it.
come a long way also. Like that training stuff in Season 4's first part, with
Paid off.
Kageyama, Hinata. Yeah, especially with Hinata. It was really cool to see Hinata's ball boy, just humility, just kind of actually, being so just...
On
so
display.
Important here.
Yeah.
So important.
Vindication for our boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, of course, just will we get confirmation at the end of the episode? Hey, Season 5 coming,
That would
confirmed?
be that would be wonderful, And will this episode end with the beginning of their match with Nekoma? Because even though we have to wait a long time in between seasons, this is all at nationals. It might be, they might have a day, until their next game, but not long.
Yeah. If anything, I would want them, though, to never, touch the ball in the slightest bit, but have it be a thing of where they both, look at each other from across the court or something like that, and then that's how they would end it. Because, yes, I want a big match. I want a big match with Nekoma and Karasuno. But, Karasuno.
Karasuno,
Wow.
yeah.
That was funny.
Fun, please.
But, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion.
That was wonderful.
That was really,
that was
really
awesome.
sweet.
It was so sweet.
It was really cute, really adorable, just a wonderful way to just kind of give all the characters a little bit of a highlight as we kind of see what they do to kind of prepare for the next match and recover from the insanity that was that match.
Which for a lot of them is just all right,
sleep it off.
Can't even take their uniform off, just nope, just crash immediately.
Yeah. But we also got a lot of little things that were kind of moments about thinking about the future. We got Bokuto kind of thinking about, the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the finals, and all that, and just I'm gonna win it all. It's okay, that's all right. I'm hoping we get to see you then. That would be fantastic. But then also the third years. Karasuno's third years.
Yeah.
Oh, that moment with them. God.
Because they're still playing. And yet this almost feels like a similar situation. Totally different, but similar in style to if someone were to have a near-death experience, because they came so close to basically not winning this match, right? But they pulled through, right? Their team pulled through, and now they get to keep playing. But it still reminds them of, even if we do go the full distance, there's going to come a point where very, very soon, in the next few days,
even if we win it all,
in the next few days, we're going to be done playing with these people. It's going to be over.
It's such a powerful feeling to have this be something that's just constantly held over the heads of the third years, is that they're I'm really excited. I'm really excited about our boys. I'm really excited about this team.
Still saying, keep going.
Oh, that's just something that will continue into every match that they have just here on out. If they beat Nekoma, they're just going to have the same thing again. It's just going to get even more intense because it's going to be something where there's less teams ahead of them. And, God, if this is the top 16, that means that there's only really in their cards Nekoma, and then it'd be down to 4. No, 8?
Because they're in the top 16 right now.
Yeah. Then we go down to 8.
Yeah, then
and to
4.
be another match, then 4,
then 2, and
then 2,
and that's
then,
the final
and
match.
then
Yeah,
that would be it. So 4 more matches at most.
yeah.
And that just knowledge, just that knowledge in general, even if it's something where they end up going the distance, achieving the impossible, the dream is realized. Even if it's not, it's something where they're not going to be there for those moments where, Miyatsumu making declarations of like, oh, I'm going to play against you again, or no, I'm going to set for you.
Yeah.
Like the idea of like thinking about university or something like that, where it's like,
a couple
like the
things
future.
Potentially. University, but also, was that basically a thing of saying that I think at some point you are going to be on the Japan like world stage team camp representative thing?
Even though he wasn't.
Well, he wasn't this year.
He wasn't invited to the camp thing.
Right, he wasn't invited
thing
this year, but he could be invited next year.
Yeah, it's the idea of the future being something where there's a lot of characters that have specific things that they really want that are still locked behind the future, but there are things that they want that are locked, behind the future, basically, that they can't have necessarily, that something will be torn away from them. And yet, in the moments with the third years, they're able to be like, yeah, and I can still appreciate it in here and now.
And I love that they say, we're not going to let those two pass us up. Right. Basically saying we're going to still let them motivate us and propel us to getting better at this and everything, even though we only have a few days left where we're on their team.
Yep.
That's powerful. Like, I love that.
Yeah, that's just so good. So Inarizaki had their little recollecting of the match and stuff like that, but it was more about Kita basically giving them a little bit of a leader talk here.
Yep.
And Kita has been basically proven to be the wisest of almost all the volleyball players in this entire freaking story. Like, he is beyond his years in wisdom.
Yeah. Yep. And
chastising the Mia twins a little bit for giving what he assumed to be a faux apology, which I like that he called them out on it quickly, because even if it was or it wasn't, the point is that you guys did a lot to get here, and we're not going to have this be any more of a parallel to Karasuno's thing, even though it kind of is a huge parallel, in that this was kind of the equivalent of first year Karasuno having that moment where they went for the quick and it was perfect. It went exactly right, but it was blocked.
Against Seijo.
Against Seijo. And that was kind of what it was, was this moment, this perfect timing and everything. And it's exactly right.
Didn't quite work.
And it still got blocked. That wasn't the wrong call.
Right.
There were a lot of other things that led up to that being the final point. And, it might have worked. And it was just the fact that those two were the ones that were there to block it. They knew what that looked like. They knew that it was coming, really, too. Yeah. They'd seen it before.
And the thing is, there is the possibility that Inarizaki, if it was facing another team, or even if things had gone slightly different and they weren't paired up and the Freak Quick wasn't paired up against Kageyama and Hinata defending it, that they would have won.
Yeah.
But if they had, they wouldn't have had this experience here. Everything aligned, basically. Those two are the worst people to receive your quick, right? Yeah. That's basically just a lesson here, right? That there are further heights that they can get to.
Heights, you mean?
Heights, yeah. And now they have that motivation to potentially go there because they are second years. There will be next year.
That's kind of crazy to think that the Mia twins are second years, and it's just like, oh man, imagine playing up against these guys again. That would be nutty.
Yep.
Oh my god. I just love the idea, though, that Miyatsumu specifically was so moved by Hinata, so impressed, just so floored by the passion, the zeal, the hunger that he displayed here, that he basically is like, I choose you.
Yep. Yeah. I will set to you again. Yeah.
Like,
or I will set to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like just basically saying, I want you, dude.
Right.
I am just astonished at everything that you are because I kind of assumed very little of you. Like when he first kind of bumped into him and Kageyama introduced Hinata to him, it was kind of this moment of where he was like, I don't really like get excited about the idea. Yeah, he kind of belittled Hinata there, and over the course of this match, he basically just fell in love with him and had the moment of, oh, I've been a setter for a while, but more I've been like I've had the drive, the practice, and just the grit to go at everything to become the best setter possible, and I am the best setter in high school of Japan. Like that is something that he has earned.
Yep.
And then he looked at Hinata, our little underdog sonchild, who's grown so much to the point to where he's like, I'm gonna set to you. Like that is like the highest compliment to give.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's I feel like it's the equivalent of the you should have come to Shiratorizawa.
Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier. Yeah, exactly.
Like it's basically that because Atsumu, his thing, yes, it's his setting, but more importantly, it's his passion, right? That's why he's such a good setter, right? Because he loves it.
Yeah, he's addicted.
He is addicted, hardcore, right?
Yep.
And, well, he just saw a kindred spirit.
Exactly.
Here.
Game recognizes game. He saw Hinata play, and he's like, okay, this guy gets me excited about playing volleyball. And I love that, to kind of parallel this, Suki, who's been going on his own additional massive character development this season over the course of the training stuff that they went through in part 1, kind of realized that Hinata had a moment like his in season 3, episode 4. But instead, this was one where it was like, oh my God, he's going even deeper. He's falling even deeper in love with volleyball now. Like, I still can't keep up with him. Like, even after all this stuff that I've done to just go even farther here, he's still pushing the bounds here.
Yep.
And it's not just the thing of where, oh my God, look at the result of all that effort that he put in. That,
I thought this crazy kid couldn't get more excited about volleyball.
Right.
But apparently this was him before me. Like this was like me before my moment, and now he just had another one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. Like,
isn't that funny though? Like, doesn't that make you think of, in some ways, the idea that the way this show handles escalation in the classic kind of shonen sense is it has nothing to do with power levels. It's just the passion that they have.
Right. Yeah.
And as the people get more and more passionate about it, like the people that aren't typically passionate, like Kenma, for instance, like that's just something that we get to look forward to because our boys can get more in love with the sport. They can get more synergistic with each other. They can end up just pushing that bounds.
One of the other things that I think is kind of cool here, you mentioned the whole power, scaling thing. Since this is a team sport, you don't need to have all of the players be able to do everything, right? Because it's about what the team is able to do. So as a result, you can have that passion have concrete effects in that it does help them learn new things.
Right.
But it's not necessarily that it's like, just going, power increase in the same sort of direction or whatever. But no, now Hinata's is a more well-rounded player, right? He can do receives and things like that he wouldn't have been able to do before, right?
Yep.
His signature thing is still going to be the freak quick with Kageyama, right?
Right.
But that's not all that he'll be able to do. And I love that.
Yeah. Kita, just going to bounce back because I forgot to bring this up. Kita is the heart of Inarizaki, but the idea that he was essentially benched for the majority of the game because, he's not in the top
strongest
6.
player.
Yeah. And his position that he plays is one that has lots of competition. In fact, he has one of the best spikers in all of Japan in competition with him for that spot. And yet, it was just something that when he ends up saying, well, isn't my team amazing? I just wanted to say that even more. I remembered back to Oikawa and his little moment there with Iwaizumi and the rest of Seijo and Abujasai just being like, thank you, and I'm grateful. And it's really cool here because Kita's a third year.
Right.
And it's his moment of where isn't my team amazing is totally an observational thing. Like it feels a little bit like you're pointing, meaning you're not looking at it like this, like, wow, these people alongside me, isn't my team amazing? But it's like, look, like, isn't my team right there amazing? Basically already just kind of reminding them that they won't have Kita next year. But it's just this thing of where they're like, oh, like,
you can keep saying that to your grandkids.
Yeah, you can be saying that exactly.
Like it's showing the X on the back of the hand. It's the once a member of this team, always a member of this team, and no matter what happens, you will always be our captain.
Yeah, so, I just love that even Kita here can't hide the little bits of discouragement of I wanted to say that even more, which is totally primarily being taken as this is something I am going to say.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how much over the course of time I've wanted to say that, and so I'm basically saying it here. But it is also a past tense thing.
Right.
Which means there is that little bit of pain, that little pang of just like, oh.
Yep. He's going down the stairs and they're not.
Right. And I wanted to say this in your presence as well. Like, I wanted to be looking at you and be like, wow, isn't my team amazing?
Yeah.
And then also the idea, like you said, with the X in the back, it's, you're always a member of the team. There's that angle of it as well, where next year it won't be technically his team. It would have been his past team, but I love these boys. I love these boys so much, and just the fact that they all immediately start feeling that emotion coming on there, and yet the Mia twins and Atsuma's like, we'll be juniors. You can brag to your grandkids about.
I look forward to that. Yep,
that's just badass.
And then just shifts
there's so
into
much
the comedy.
Goofiness. There's so much goofiness this episode.
Of just right. Like I love that Tanaka is just sitting there like a vegetable almost, just with like an energy minerals packet just in his mouth, just.
Yeah.
Because it's just
where's my drink? That basically me being the equivalent of like.
Right. Like you could basically just put Tanaka in a bed, take that thing that he had, turn it into an
side,
make an IV drip out of it, and it would still totally work. Like he probably would have been absolutely fine with that because these boys played their hearts and souls out.
Oh my god!
Blood, sweat, and tears. They put their everything into this, And this is something that I feel like is really important to show, not just for the comedic side of things, but also for the serious side. Because, let's be real, Karasuno, as much of a powerhouse as they are at this point, they are still kind of the underdogs.
Yeah, they are hitting their limits,
right?
Like very hard.
Yeah, they are surpassing their limits, and that comes with a cost, right? The fact that they were able to beat Inarizaki is basically a miracle, right?
Yeah.
Like so, because there's this part of us that's like, okay, they beat them, and now they'll go the distance, and because they're supposed to, they're the main team. That's why they're the main characters of this story, right? We're gonna follow them on their journey.
Yep.
But this did not come easily at all, right? All of that hard work, all of those awesome rule of cool moments that happened in the match that were the culminations of their training and everything.
Yep.
Now it's time for them to hard crash because, oh my God, they have never, ever done anything like this before. Like, ever.
Seriously, yeah.
Even the idea of the fact that they'll, I wonder if maybe even it'll be brought up as a point of conflict, but that when they face Nekoma, it's we're still kind of recovering from that, from that match with Inarizaki. They had to fight their own match too and everything, but oh man, we have never played a game like that.
Yeah, I do think that partially the big thing will be actually that as long as they don't do certain sedentary things, they actually will be even more fired up.
Oh yeah,
because athleticism wise, one of the trickiest things with handling soreness, which muscle soreness and muscle fatigue in general is a very like serious thing with regards to these back-to-back matches and stuff. The matches themselves aren't necessarily that long, though. That is just something that needs
true.
to be kind of put into.
Yeah, we wait
there.
multiple weeks for the match to play out, but for them, it's, a couple hours.
Exactly. And if you get a full, extra, maybe 2 hours, but like a maybe 8 to 10 hour rest or what have you, and you put in good carbs,
all the good
proteins,
food,
like all the really good stuff in that regard, you can bounce back really quickly. And I mean, you might even have a little bit of extra zazz because you're still fired up on the hormones that were released.
Holy shit, we did it. Yeah.
Not just the win though, but just the physical activity as well.
Right.
And then the fact that they're all kids.
Yes.
So they're gonna limitless energy. It's going to be a thing.
Yep.
But yeah, maybe for a couple of them, that could be a really cool plot point. Is like Tsukishima, maybe for instance.
He's like, I'm not used to exerting myself at this level. Like,
this is not something that he's been putting into practice as much. So he needs to, over the course of the match, or even before the match, he's doing like special stretches and stuff.
Sure.
And trying to like ease his way back into the game. So maybe the first set goes to Nekoma for that very reason.
Possibly, yeah.
Couple quick little things though. We got Hinata Butt, which was hilarious.
That was
so random.
And as
it
the
had me
transition
rolling for.
Oh yeah. And transitioning to that, like just to the Hinata Butt after the shower bath scene, with
Kyoko
and Yachi.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden just with the shine on it and everything, and then
I was like,
a little
are
like
you
flex
kidding
and
me?
change as he's like swimming through the water, like wow.
I just love that it was a thing of where they're like, hey, you were just thinking of Kyoko, weren't you? Yeah. And then here's some bloom, bloom, and you're like, wait,
that's
a minute.
Karasuno's ass, right?
Yeah, that's Karasuno's ass right there. And then I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, no,
Hold on, no.
wait. And then when they show Hinata swimming, I'm like, no. And then they panned out and showed the full thing, and his little butt cheeks were still like popping up there. It's just like, oh my god, what is this show? What is this? Like, that's so funny. Oh my god.
It felt like one of those adorable like home videos of like the little baby that's like having a bath, or like
just totally don't have any of those out there. No, not at all. Pretty sure those all got burned in the house fire or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely, yeah. But
oh my god,
man.
that was so good.
Yep.
And then just the fact that we get to see them all kind of in these relaxed environments, getting to kind of see them kind of prepare and get ready. It really feels like there's a life that they have and that it revolves around volleyball.
Yep.
But it is something where they are bonding ever more over the course of this time, that they have their passions focused on the same thing.
Right.
And then I have one little thing that I want to be a little bit goofy with, and that is Kowalski analysis. The part where the guy from Norohebi passes in front of the brackets, and we see the faded out kanji of all the teams and stuff there.
But all the text is faded and
all
blurred
the text
and
is
stuff,
faded.
so you can't actually tell what it says.
We didn't see shit, you know?
Right, yeah.
This part pissed me off so much, because I was like,
major cuckery that's happening right here.
Now, to be fair though, we can big brain a couple things here.
Oh my god.
If we go at this logically, we can deduce that the actual top left part of the bracket is actually Inarizaki Karasuno there.
Yes.
Because... Wait, actually, it might not be.
No,
it might be.
I believe it is.
Well, no, because hold on. The team that was seeded first was not Inarizaki. Inarizaki was seeded second. It was another team that was seeded first. Itachiyama, that's it. Itachiyama was seeded first, and usually the first seed would be at the top left of the bracket there. But then I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, no, this is Japan, so it actually might be on the top right.
I think top left. I think top left is Karasuno, because you see the seeded team gets defeated, and then on the top right, I think that's Itachiyama, because the seeded team wins. Of course, there's plenty of situations where the seeded team wins all along the whole thing.
If we Kowalski analysis this, the main thing that I can get here from this is that it does fit then that for this match here, that Nekoma would be on this side here at the top left. That does track.
It's also possible that the left one, because there's two different bracket systems. I think one is the boys' tournament and one is the girls' tournament.
Okay, I would say no.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no. You might be right. You might be right.
Because they both have brackets that go to a single winner.
Well, okay. The main thing we can get is we know they're going into the top 16.
Yes.
And so if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
and then,
14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Then that is actually the one side here is the boys tournament. The other side, yeah, you're right, is then must be the girls tournament. I believe so. Which means here then, and it's 1, 2, 3. Wait, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four games. Yep, you're
4
right
games,
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, because 2 to the power 4 is 16. Yeah.
Exactly. So, based on this, if we wanted to get really big brain here, we would know that Bokuto and Fukurodani beat their team in 2 sets. The other team did not win a set, I believe.
That's true.
I can go back and double check that here.
Oh yeah, because they do. There's no way we'd be able to figure this out.
No, Jacob. Kowalski analysis.
Okay. There's no way we can figure this out in discussion.
No, we can figure this out. Okay, give me 60 seconds, my man.
All right, because they do mention
60.
They do mention
seconds.
They do have the sets on the brackets to show which team won how many sets.
When we get a look at this here, Karasuno and Inarizaki are shown here for a brief bit, which shows that they are on the edge, on a corner.
Yes.
Fukurodani and Morikawa.
Yeah, they beat them in 2 sets. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is right. Yes, because there's only 1 set locked in here.
Right.
And Fukurodani won that one, so that means we can guarantee that is that there. Guys, this is me on full blast.
Number of variables.
Yep. There's a bunch of ways in which this might not be the case here.
Oh my God.
But of all the teams that won in 2 sets, there are none that are on. No, never mind. There are plenty that are on all sides.
There aren't enough variables to eliminate the possibilities.
You're right.
But we did get a particular character getting rather peeved when people were saying that Nekoma didn't stand a chance against Karasuno.
Yes. And this definitely seems to be Kenma's sister.
Right. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I feel like it is. Because
I know are the same.
Right. I know we've seen this character before, but for the life of me, I can't remember where, when exactly.
So there's a couple of places it has to be. It has to be either from a previous season, which makes sense as to why we wouldn't remember then. She could be from the OVAs. That was the one that got some Nekoma focus there.
That is true.
And the other one is that it could be from the recent Nekoma backstory focus, if anything. But I would say that's where it probably isn't from, because that was rather recent. And I think I would remember that if that was the case there. But the hairstyle definitely seems familiar. And then the eyes basically just confirm it for those that are, confused like us, because those are cat eyes there. And it is based on the Nekoma is no match for Karasuno because they're so bland. And then she's like, you'll be eating those words, which is like, I'm very excited. I'm really hyped to see that actually be true, though.
Because
I want a tough match.
Yeah, well, I want a tough match too. But I'm very curious for the match, side of things, but then also for the character side of things, because this is an angle that I wouldn't have expected them to bring up. Hey, someone that's not even on Nekoma's main team. She might but she's this invested. What's the story there? How is that conflict going to get resolved? Because it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that could, at the very least, directly be resolved on the court. Indirectly on the court, sure.
Yeah, I think it totally could. If she's a fan of her brother there, then I would say.
Oh, okay. But watching them all go through the matches, the highlights from the match, that was excellent. That was wonderful.
I love that Karasuno keeps getting stiffed in how they get showed up on TV, because no one actually is interested in them. Still, they beat Inarizaki, and they're like, Inarizaki, the great team. But
they got beaten.
Yeah, they got beaten.
Here's some highlights.
Right. But we basically kind of did a little bit of a recap with all the characters, kind of taking them to different points, and had basically them just taking the night and being ready to play.
And then
Credits
they meet.
roll. We kind of recap a bit. They meet outside the gymnasium, outside the court. The light shines.
Ready to go.
Stare into your eyes, and it's that passion that's wonderful. But then we have the ukais.
Yeah.
The ukais. Like, of all the ways to do an end credit scene, but having
I didn't know I wanted
them.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because it
that's
totally makes
perfect.
sense. Because here, our young ukai, right?
Exactly.
He has, done the impossible. He took the ragtag team and he turned them into potential champions, right?
Yeah.
They're definitely champions in the minds of, the players and the people that, were rooting for Karasuno, right? And hey, Gramps, I did it. And then him sort of reminiscing on his own life and his own way of doing things and basically saying, hey, way to go. You might have surpassed me here.
Yeah, because the thing that took me years to figure out, because I was so focused on delivering my style of volleyball, my specific vision of what made me so good at volleyball to my players, that I didn't think about how it made them feel. And this is all tied back into passion, and that basically young Ukai here enabled, empowered, and supported the passion of his players individually, and thus they have in some ways surpassed him, because, as he mentions, my boys are more excited than anyone about this upcoming game. More excited than you, more excited than me, and I'm just excited that you get to see that excitement.
Yeah.
Like, that's Haikyuu right there. That's the whole show. Like,
Even when his grandpa mentioned, he's like, yeah, maybe it's a good thing that you were, that you suck at volleyball,
suck at
right?
volleyball.
Because, hey, yeah, made you a great teacher.
Yeah, it kept you...
didn't get in the way.
Yeah, it didn't get in the way of you being a great coach. And that's just, And then, he's like, you think I'm just trying to show you this for your sake? Like, nah, you should see my boys. And I loved the way old Ukai kind of goes, wait, like,
really?
Yeah?
Oh.
Like, it kind of, like, ignited that little bit of curiosity and, like, oh?
Well, now I really want to see this match.
Now I'm really excited. Like, the ones
Yep.
who want to beat Nekoma more than anyone else right now are my boys. And the way it's just my boys. Like, it's not the way he wants to beat them right now is Karasuno or is my team or something. They're my boys.
Yep.
And I loved this as well. They're not the team you've held a grudge against for so many years anymore.
Yeah.
Because think about that. That's referring to Karasuno.
Oh, I thought it was referring to Nekoma.
Well, okay. I feel like this is something that might be a translation issue then.
Okay.
But I want to bring this up. The ones who want to beat Nekoma more than anyone else right now are my boys. This whole sentence is referring to the Karasuno team, right? Why would you then follow that up with they are not the team you've held a grudge against for so many years anymore? Maybe
because maybe that's focusing on like the whole situation of him retiring from coaching Karasuno. Although I believe that was because of his health, but maybe there was something else to it. I don't know.
The main thing that I remember was that there were a lot of players that quit because Coach Ukai was a drill sergeant. He was a taskmaster. And what might be kind of interesting that they get into with this Battle of the Garbage Dump is what actually fully happened there before even Daichi, Suga, and Asahi's time that basically led to Karasuno being down in the dumps basically already at that point.
Right, beyond just Ukai not coaching them anymore and the little giant not being with them and things like that. Yeah, okay.
And the thing that I'm really excited about this Battle of the Garbage Dump thing is that this could totally be just referring to Nekoma, and it's just hey, it's a very simple thing. It might be a little
new
bit of
generation, new teams,
Exactly. That totally works. But it could also be there's a reason why you gave up coaching Karasuno, but you still kept trying to coach people how to play volleyball.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think this is pointing at that. It's just another thing that they can tie into a good extra bit of character focus and stuff when they do the actual match.
Okay.
Meaning we could get more young Daichi Suga,
I'm all
Asahi
for that
kind of stuff.
I'm all for that.
The kind of the typical flashbacks that they do during matches and stuff.
Sure.
But I just thought that line felt really like, whoa, wait a minute. Have we been like reading a couple things wrong for a while now?
Or at the very least, is there a lot of stuff that we just haven't seen yet? Are there layers that we can get into that we wouldn't have expected from the Nekoma Karasuno match?
Right, exactly. And if that's the case, that might be a compliment in addition to the thing of saying they're more excited than anyone about this, is saying that they've run so far past me that I'm just cheering them on. Like, I'm just encouraging them. They're a snowball that has taken on so many other things from so many other teams. They've absorbed so much that now I'm just at the top of the mountain just cheering them to go down this one and up the next one. Like, go. And then he does the whole, Baka, you should better just look forward to it.
Yeah.
Because, it's going to be wonderful.
Yep.
And I just, I'm so excited about that.
This was a wonderful episode to just wrap up the season. Wrap up everything post that amazing match. Yeah. Amazing match. And now, season 5. It's
season 5.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It has.
It's gonna happen. But
totally.
At the same time.
Totally. The manga's finished.
Yep.
Yep. They've got like all the time in the world. Yeah.
But don't take all the time in the world.
But don't take all the time.
Take as much time as you need, but no more.
So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. We have a unique little announcement though to pop at the end of this.
We do indeed. Though. Yeah, so this was a seasonal thing, so
a bonus slot, right?
Bonus slot, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And it is.
It is.
However, there was another bonus thing that we were deciding to do, and we figured, hey, why not, throw segue it in after this one.
Yeah.
So there's a show that's been fairly heavily requested of us. That we saw the first season 2, but we haven't seen the second season 2. That's ReZero. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. But we're gonna be starting watching that one, and because this one just goes straight to public, we decided, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's throw the first episode's reaction for ReZero on early access at the same time as this one goes public. So if you want to see that episode, I'm doing your segue thing.
Yeah, exactly. Go for it, Jacob.
Go check out the link in the description for our Patreon. There's the early access and full lengths and all that stuff. I don't usually say this, so I don't know exactly how it's said, but it's there. Yeah. Also, Twitch channel.
Yeah, so go check out our Twitch channel. All the details are in the description below. Go check it out. It's awesome. We stream 3 p.m. Pacific time, Monday to Friday.
Yeah, but if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Jacob.
I'm Caleb.
And we'll see you all
next time.